These are the 5 B2B marketing strategies that actually work in 2026. And how do I know that they work? Because I run a digital marketing agency that deploys all of these that have made more than $10 million for my clients using all of these methods that I'm going to list above. And these will work for you no matter what industry that you are in. By the end of this video, you will know the 5 B2B strategies that still work, how to apply each one step by step on a high-level overview. I have a deep dive on each one of these on in different videos, and this will be you mining all the diamonds. All right, so let's dive into the first one, which is everyone's favorite, not really, cold email outreach. So let me bring up some of the cold email that I'm doing so you can see that I'm actually eating my own dog food. I'm getting 25% reply rates at scale, and at massive scale, 11% reply rates, which put to shame most outreach agencies. And so the secret is that cold email is not saturated and it still works because decision makers check their emails multiple times a day, and you can scale infinitely, and it's way, way, way more affordable than paid ads. It's the fastest and the cheapest way to test offers, product market fit, ICP, and in fact, I just had a conversation with a prospect that they are going to market with their ICP and their offer, and I'm like, cold email is the easiest and the most effective and the most economical way that you can gather as much data as possible without lighting $10,000 on fire and giving it to Mark Zuckerberg so he can buy a new fancy Patek. So personalized email cuts through a lot of the noise because nobody does it. So it really doesn't take a lot. And you can see that on some of the outreach that I'm done, the personalization looks like this. So we have Clay, we use Clay and LinkedIn and OpenAI and a whole bunch of fancy schmancy stuff on the back end, and the AI agent goes to their LinkedIn profile, scrapes their posts, and then creates a compliment opener like this. Hi Alex, I liked your LinkedIn post about making follow-up calls within 10 minutes to improve conversions and maintain consistency. Thought you might be a good fit for the podcast we're producing, which, by the way, is the secret to getting more replies is to lead with value. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. Step number 1 is to build a clean list. I like to use LinkedIn Sales Nav in conjunction with Expandy, and then I use Clay to enrich all of that. If you're a complete noob and you just want to use Apollo, that works too. You can also use Apify, which is a lot cheaper, so that's there for you also. A good list really is half of the work. So step number 2 after that is you need to set up all your infrastructure. Buy 6 domains. Trust me, this is the best infrastructure setup. Buy 6 domains, 3 Google Workspace user accounts per domain. Don't use Outlook, garbage. Use Google Workspace. It's going to cost you about $7 per domain per user. Then you have 18 sending accounts. You warm these up for 14 to 21 days, at least 14 days, using Instantly AI, and then you send 30 emails per day per sending account, which gives you the ability to send out 540 emails per day. Pineapple. Step number 3 is to write a short message with one purpose. Don't try and bombard them with a whole bunch of stuff. Tell them about who you are and what you offer and all the case studies you've got, and then make them an offer, and then give them a peer. Just tell them to do one simple thing. Keep it really short. You have not earned their attention. You are in their inbox, which is flooded with hundreds of other more important people, so keep it short. The shorter the better. I'm talking like 1 sentence, 2 sentences max. And so like this, like step number 3 really is the magic here. Once you've got a decent lead list and a decent offer, leading with value first in an email is really the secret. So we use something called the podcast method. We test a bunch of different variations. This is one of the longer, this is the longest copy that we would test. And we personalize the top line. We invite them, what we discuss, what's in it for them, soft CTA. It's really not that difficult, guys. Step number 4 is to follow up endlessly with clarity. And so, big mistake people make is that they don't actually follow up with these people. Oftentimes, this is the second email that we send, and this is the one that gets some of the most highest replies. Third reply, fourth reply. So look, if you want to copy paste all of these, screenshot them, go ahead. I am going to be putting this inside the free school group, Dopamine Digital, here, where you can join. Also, we are having a flash sale in the paid group if you want to have one-on-one access to me. Currently, it's 50% off because we have just changed the name from the Shipping Society, because everyone thought we were a bunch of drop shippers, to now Ship It Society, where business owners ship meaningful pieces of work every single day, every single week. And in fact, I just got off a call, because Monday is the call, right? So now it's the next day in the morning, but I just got off the call with a bunch of group members, and I challenge every single person every week, okay, what meaningful piece of work are you going to ship this week, and come to the next call to show. So it's not just us fluffing our feathers, we actually get stuff done. So if you're interested in that, join the Ship It Society and actually take some action for once in your life. So, number 2, strategy numero dos is LinkedIn targeted outreach. All founders and CEOs are on LinkedIn. It's the most resourceful platform if you know how to use it correctly. But most people act like a bot or a salesperson. If I pull up it's so embarrassing, the in-mails that I get, or the messages I get, people trying to sell me something. It's like a massive block of copy-paste text with some AI slop garbage that they have not taken the time to check. So actually sounding human is what's going to get you noticed, and it's going to be much more useful than blasting a sales message. Step number 1, research before you message. It doesn't take long. It takes 20 seconds to find the leads manually or use SalesNav, check their website, their LinkedIn, their recent posts, and mention something that proves that you paid attention and that you actually are a human being. And now here's the secret. Step number 2 is to use a voice note. So what I do, I sit with LinkedIn open on my screen. I do all the research. I go to my Google Sheet there, and then I'll find them on my phone, and I'll say, "Hey, John, just checking out your LinkedIn. I love how you're using AI agents in logistics. The reason I'm reaching out is because," and then you pitch. And so keep it 20 to 30 seconds, 20 to 40 seconds. Ideally about 30 seconds I found is a sweet spot. Mention something personalized. Use a lead magnet. I like to use the podcast method because it's a fantastic way to get your ICP on a video call where you can build trust and authority. It's a very easy to understand value exchange where they're getting content, you get content. Step number 3 is to like a permission-based pitch. So if you want to go straight for the pitch, then what you can do is, everybody knows that this is the thing, but ask them if you can send them a quick Loom video breaking down how you'd solve this problem. So like, "Hey, I noticed this on your website that can 2 to 3x conversion rates. Can I send you a quick video breaking down one improvement you can make?" Yes, that's generic, but look, I know not everybody is going to want to start a podcast. This is the best by far. You can use this if you have an audience which is allergic to getting on a video call, which I know a lot of you have. Strategy number 3 is a surprising one because it's an oldie but a goodie, and it has gone out of fashion, but it has most recently come back in a massive way, in a slightly different way that maybe you didn't realize. Everybody has stopped doing webinars. Yes. The ever webinar, or the always like evergreen webinar that pretended to have hundreds of people in the room, but really it was just you and a VA, is dead. Or at least I haven't seen it work for a long time. What I do see working are YouTube videos that are either live, long-form YouTube videos that exist, and then you chop it up after, and it's actually live, and it's presented like a webinar, or you run some form of traffic to a live, ideally, webinar, and then you run them through the perfect webinar script. I have some friends that they make a lot of money. They spend hundreds of thousands of dollars like it's like $5 for us. And they have said that they have implemented a webinar funnel recently that is outperforming all their sales team, which is crazy. Because there's no overhead, there's no commissions you got to pay out, there's nobody that turns up sick, there's no idiots that get drunk the night before or miss 3 calls. So this is a big deal, and you should be paying attention to this if you run any sort of traffic anywhere. I broke down in detail the perfect webinar script and the formula from Russell Brunson in a video on my channel. I suggest you go check that out. But the TLDR is that the formula looks like this. You've got intro, and then you've got to give them a bold promise and a hook to the end. You've got to command attention, because most people are sitting there scrolling on TikTok and they will get sucked out into another window. You need to qualify yourself. Like, why do people listen to you? And then you future pace them, and then you get into the content. In the content, it's really important to talk about one thing, not 5 things, not 15 things, one thing. This is a new and unique mechanism. It's one idea that fixes their biggest problem, and keep the entire session focused on this one point. And it should be a new way of doing things that is a belief breaker of an old way, a paradigm shift from an old way to a new way. And then you back it up with 3 secrets, not 5, not 23, 3. Secret number 1, for example, can break an external belief. Secret number 2 can break a vehicle belief. And secret number 3 can break an internal belief. So it's all about breaking down their belief systems and then supplanting it with a new, core, sexy, unique way of doing things, which is your thing. I have yet to see a offer that cannot be broken down like this. So if you're thinking, oh, we've got this brick and mortar thing and it's never going to work into a webinar, I've seen some crazy things being broken down into a webinar that works. And then after that, you stack the value. You reveal each piece of the offer one by one. You increase the perceived value. You show why each part is necessary. And then, of course, you slash the price down right at the end, and you present it in a ridiculously low one-time offer that's usually $997, which is the most amount of money you can get away with without a sales call, relatively easy, with as little friction as possible, in about an hour. And then Russell has, I think, like 16 different closes that he goes through. And I'm not going to go through all of them. You should check this out. And then give them a call to action. So, for example, if you want us to install this podcast method for your business, go to dopaminedigital.io right now and apply. I'm only speaking to 5 people. Stuff like that. And as an aside, if that is you and you just want us to do all of this for you and implement this into your business, go here, click this button, fill out this form. If you qualify, I will audit your entire business, give you a comprehensive Loom video and a growth plan delivered to you within 72 hours for free without a sales call. I can only literally do 5 of these a week, and I have more than 5 people a week apply. So go here, fill out this form. It takes 4.5 minutes. Tell me about your business, and if you qualify and you are one of the 5, I will send you that. Strategy number 4 is paid ads. And you go, well, I'm not selling an e-com product. How do I do paid ads? Well, I have some examples of Hormozi and Sabri Subi for you to show you. I'm also about to start running paid ads for myself. So if you want to see me break down that whole thing, make sure you're subscribed. Paid ads, yes, of course, they still work in 2026, even with the Andromeda update that they rolled out a couple months back, and it has completely changed the way Meta interfaces with ads, and it delivers the ads. But the good news is that people still love to buy things, and they're still on Meta all day, every day, and it's only getting smarter, and the AI is only getting better. So your job is getting easier as a business owner to just feed the machine creative, and it will find the right pockets of people. The problem is not ads. The problem is bad messaging. And so one of the easiest ways that you can fix your ads or anything really in your outreach and your warm outreach and your content is to understand that there are people that exist on 5 different planes of awareness. And you need to create content or ads or outreach across these 5 different levels of awareness. And so I broke down this in a different video as well, but essentially, if people are unaware that they have a problem or that anything like this exists, they need different content, they need different ads than people who are the most aware. For example, I just posted in this group an example of a most aware ad. So it's people who are in this Dopamine Digital group. They know that I have a paid group. I've just changed the name, so I'm doing a 24-hour flash sale. And so this essentially is for, like, if I ran cold traffic to this, nobody would give a flying hoot. But because they are the most aware, they are more likely to take action, and so I don't need to sell them on the benefits. I just need to give them a crazy offer. That's it. Hormozi's ad script, if you want to get fancy with it, is number 1, call out the avatar. Number 2, mention the core problem. Number 3, twist the knife and aggravate the problem. Number 4 is present a new mechanism in the form of a system or a thing that is proprietary to you, and then give a clear call to action, typically to go and watch a training or go and attend a webinar or go and sign up for this lead magnet or go to the VSL. And in the VSL is where you do the magic. And I believe, for example, I am pretty good at writing VSLs, and this is the VSL that I wrote, so I suggest you go and watch this on how to write a killer VSL. And if we look at Hormozi and the way that he runs his ads, is he basically does that exact same thing. So let me pull up the ad library here. Okay.
If you own a solar sales company doing over $1 million a year, then I'd like to invite you to come out to our headquarters in Vegas to see how we scale using what we call the value acceleration method, which is a compilation of all the stuff that I've done across all the different industries applied to yours. And if that sounds at all interesting, you can click below, book a call, and we'd love to potentially meet you and see you in person.
So it's really not fancy stuff. He's not like, it's really basic stuff that he's doing here. It's like 101
Business
stuff.
owners, if you've hit the same revenue ceiling 2-3 years in a row, and your business is stuck at wherever you personally can manage and can't grow past that, then you're gonna have to fix it. And if that's the case, then I'd like to invite you out to come to our headquarters in Vegas to see how we scale using what we call the value acceleration method, which is
So, like, he's like literally just following this step by step. He's just, the reason he's so rich is not because he's so smart. It's just like brutally consistent. And he just ruthless with how simple everything is. So if you look at somebody like a Stefan Georgi or a Justin Goff or even Sabri Subi, their copy is so intricate and their funnels are so fancy, and I love it. But Hormozi, it's just like so basic, but it crushes. And this is the workshop VSL page. Are you the biggest risk to your own business? And then he's got a VSL here. I'm ready to scale. Social proof, more social proof. What happens? Like a bunch of FAQs, and then this ad used too many. Okay, whatever. So they're having an issue, but that's crazy. Here's the VSL.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you can't take a vacation without spending half your time on your laptop, or delegating feels super risky because no one else kind of knows it like you do, and most of the company's knowledge, exists inside of your head?
And so it's just like pain point, like hook, pain point, pain point, pain point. Is this you? Is this you? Then All right, well,
Or maybe your team looks to you for every single answer, even the tiny ones, and you secretly resent them for it. Or you worry of what would happen to revenue if you got sick or disappeared for a month because all the sales and fulfillment rely on you. Or maybe you just feel guilty when you're with your family because you're not working, and you feel guilty when you're working because you're not with your family. And if that sounds at least familiar, you have something that we call key man risk, which means that you're constantly working in the business and not on the business. And it's the number one reason why entrepreneurs can't scale. And it's also why they can't sell their companies.
And so just twisting the knife, it's just absolutely fantastic. And then he drives you to book a call, right, to see if you're a fit. Now, if you want to see how it works in a Sabri Subi way, which is a bit more intricate, we can have a look at the ads that he runs, which are a lot sexier, I will admit. Like, look at this. He's got Zuckerberg here on fire. All this demon Zuckerberg. And so, or even this.
Today, I'm here in Disneyland to expose the exact tactics that they use to brainwash the masses into...
33 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Facebook ad that is a 33-minute ad. All right? And you're worried about running a 3-minute ad? Get out of here. He runs you to a lead magnet with an opt-in. Copy-paste this weird new tickle the pixel method. And so you click here, and then you enter your email address. And then after that happens, he dumps you on a VSL page. So this is just like... before this page, he dumps you on a VSL page, and then you click this button and you go to a free strategy session, which is this one. And so this VSL is just a 30-minute VSL that, like, Hormozi runs you straight to the VSL. He runs you to a lead magnet that dumps you into a VSL. So it's all same. Strategy number 5. The thing that I have been doing now for 98 days. This will be day 99. Is YouTube organic long form. This video is going to be 25 minutes or so. And if you've watched the whole thing up until this point, first of all, bless you, leave a heart emoji in the chat so I know that you're actually watching until this point. But you, my friend, are what we call a highly engaged user, a highly engaged viewer of my content, which means I've had your attention now for 23 minutes or so, and surely I'm going through this and I'm explaining this in a way that is engaging enough for you to stick around for 25 minutes. It's adding value to your life, and hopefully you're taking some of the things that I say and implementing them into your business, and you get value from that, and you go, damn, that thing that Jordan said was so good. It's already made me money. Damn, that thing that Jordan said sounds so cool. I wish I could do that in my business. I wish I could just get Jordan to do this, you know? Like, why can I just not do that? Well, you can. Go here and fill out the form. And that's the idea. When people come across my content and then they see me talk with authority, I haven't cut a single time. I haven't cut away. I have not edited stuff out. I haven't scripted any of this. This is all like decades of knowledge just being like dumped into a Loom video on a Miro board, right? And so hopefully it presents with authority. And when you do that enough times and you create content, it goes out and it finds the right audiences. And if they watch it for 25 minutes and then they watch 3 or 4 videos, all of a sudden they've watched 2 or 3 hours of content of you presenting with authority, talking about frameworks that help them in their business, and now all of a sudden they want to work with you. It works, right? And so like in the first 55 days, I collected something like $60,000 from just posting organic content. So it's unbelievably powerful. The intent of the viewership is ridiculous. It blasts Facebook and Instagram and TikTok out of the water. It's not even close. So I would suggest, if you're not doing content, it's free and it's easy to do. And if I can create 2 videos a day for 3 weeks, and then I can create 100 videos a day for 100 days in a row, even when so many crazy things went wrong, you can create 1 bleemin' video a week. Trust me, bro. Trust me. So talk about what you know and what your ICP wants to hear and problems that they have and solutions that you can provide for your ICP. Now, the title and the thumbnail gets the click, so that needs to be something that you work on. Now, this title and thumbnail is garbage, but for some reason you guys click on these videos more than when I put up a fancy video. So you can create actionable how-to style videos. You can create authority videos like breakdowns, tips, insights. You can create educational deep dives. So this one I broke down all of the concepts that Belfort talks about in a sales masterclass. And then, of course, you can talk about case studies. And so this is a student from inside the Ship It Society who has collected $7,000 cash in 1 week and signed 3 clients for a total of $16,000, which is insanity. Going from a standing start over 6 weeks, he was able to go from $0 to $16,000 in revenue, his first 3 clients, and changed his life forever. And I'm not saying that that's going to be you necessarily, but man, if you just do the work, these things work. They are incredibly powerful. And so, look, I invite you finally to go and fill out the form on Dopamine Digital. If you want me to just do all of this stuff for you, right, the place that you go is here. Click that button. Check out some of the case studies. Check out the website. I spent a lot of time creating it. I think it's pretty sexy. There's lots of cool little animations, which I know mean nothing. This is a sexy AI photo of me. And then if you don't have the cash to invest in a done-for-you solution, then the good news is that this is a done-with-you solution where I hold your hand through the process, and it's only going to cost you $59 per month. So, hope that was valuable. Those are the 5 B2B marketing strategies that actually work, that if you implement them in your business, it'll completely change the way that you generate revenue, and you'll grow like a rocket ship. All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.